So I just wanted to quickly demonstrate our website and navigate with everyone that visits our website. This is just a general demonstration of our sports and varsity scores. I'm going to go on over here to baseball, which is active right now in this season. And it's going to take you right to the story page by default. It will pop up a scores ticker here that updates live, and it will show you the past usually 24 hours of scores, and you kind of hit the scroll button to kind of see upcoming games if you don't see on the scroll, if you don't want to wait for it to scroll. You can look at past stories here, and you can open one of these stories and kind of read along. This one is actually done by our online content manager, who also is part of Pick and Splinters, and what he does is he gives a quick breakdown of the game, and he'll share it on our website as content with us. So you get these great write-ups across our section, which is fantastic. So right at the top is our secondary navigation. If you're using a mobile device, you may not see that menu. It'll probably be like a hamburger is what they're called, like 3 lines up in the top right corner. You would explode that, and then you would see the secondary links show up. But on the website, you'll see these, and this is standard pretty much across all our team sports: the schedules and scores, rosters, standings, sectionals, handbook, and store. Regarding the handbook, that is typically the guide that kind of stipulates all of our tournaments. It is updated by our committees, and it has all the information pertaining to each sectional tournament, and is really the guide that tells us how our tournaments are run, sectional systems, and how they're used for each specific sport. So we'll go over here to schedules and scores. This is probably where you'll spend a lot of your time. And under schedules and scores here, once again, you have that score sticker pop up at the top of the page. And then it has all the games listed here. It defaults to the current date. So today is the 17th of May. You're seeing all the games scheduled for today. If a game is postponed or canceled, it'll automatically disappear from this. This updates in almost pretty much real time within a few minutes. So you're seeing the exact schedules that are being published and managed by every athletic office across our 125 plus member school districts. If you look here and you hit the back and forward arrows, you can go back to the next previous date and quickly navigate. And as you can see all the scores here that are inputted. And then obviously there's one score missing right now that we're waiting for. That should be in fairly soon, or they maybe had a postponement or a forfeit, and they just need to update that and indicate that in their team schedules. So the filters here are very important. You can go to any past years that we've been using the site and look at the schedule. You can quickly go and jump around to pick a different date. You can move back and forward to go to each. You can select any team that's within the schedule here, Section 5 and non-Section 5 schools. What's important here to know is to make sure that each Section 5 team, there's mergers or non-mergers, that their schedule has the same exact merger or team name throughout the schedule. Otherwise, that will have implications later on to your records. So what you'll want to do here is you could select a team, and if we went to, let's say, Addison, Addison didn't have anything scheduled on the 17th, but I want to see it for all. You can wipe out that schedule, hit enter, and just click off. There actually is going to be an all button here. There you can click, so it'll show all dates, include that filter. So right now I'm seeing Addison's schedule throughout the whole season, and I can just scroll down and look at all their games of who they played. And their complete schedule is right there. You then can go here to classification. You can filter by classification. So if you only want to see D schools that they've or D1 schools that they played against, you could do that. If you want to see, filter here is not, I must not have the date right here. Sometimes when you jump around, it doesn't agree, so you just have to start back from there. All league. Yeah, so here they play Williamson. Because they lost, we didn't have to go get the classification for this team. And so you kind of filter down by classification for Addison. And then you can even break down by league as well, if you're just interested in a league game. So Typically what I tell people is if you're going to use the classification league is just go here and filter. And then you can just select, okay, I just want to see the D1 schedule. And so now it's going to pull up just the D1 schools. So it's going to be every D1. There has to be a D1 in the schedule for one of the opponents for it to show up in this filter. Or you can go by league. Right now for this, we don't have it broken down by league in the settings, but that's coming soon with the functionalities built in there. Another thing I want to point out is you can look at the game time roster if they have their rosters completed, which all schools for varsity are supposed to have that in. Hopefully both teams here did. And yep, they have all their teams in, the positions, the grades, the number. So this is a quick checklist here that comes up, which is really nice for our programs to quickly be able to look at. So like our media, this is a request from one of our media groups saying, hey, it'd be nice if I can get a quick snapshot to know side by side. So someone might print this out or pull it up on their tablet while they're taking notes, covering a story or taking photos. They quickly know, okay, 13 was this person. And so that's all there right next to the game schedule. You might see links in here as well. In baseball, unfortunately, not much is live streamed, but you might see links. And if you click on this, it will take you to that YouTube page or YouTube channel that they shared where that game is actually streamed. So you can quickly go, oh, I can watch this Cornell versus Haverly game right here. We won't do that right now, but digital ticket links could be here as well as radio broadcast. So there's some links here that will help you, and then come sectionals will be very easy to kind of follow along. Sports like soccer, football, basketball, field hockey have the huddle focus cameras that are able to follow the play. So you might be able to get a little more live stream links, and then come sectional, especially during the finals. We tried to do a little bit more of a production where the sites meet that have internet power and elevation are kind of the keys for us to do like a nice broadcast. So we put that on the Section 5 broadcast network. But you'd see those links displayed there by our schools. You can also go here to rosters, and this breaks down by sport rosters, and it goes by years. So you can look at past years as well. So if I were to look here under Addison and click submit, it will pull up their roster here. It has their logo, it has everything here. This is real time too. So as the coach or the AD or athletic office need to manipulate their roster, you can update it right here on the fly. And then you can print it out and download it here, just the team roster. And then if they have anything like head coach, or they can list a athletic trainer, assistant coaches, superintendent, athletic director, they can put all that information there if they wanted to. So this is just a nice way that all the rosters are available for our teams. If a team is not showing up here, then that typically means they haven't published or finished their roster. And typically, if you see a merger like Greece Odyssey Olympia, it's really up to both school districts to manage their own rosters and share it to the activity level gender sport within the R school system. And once that is done, both Olympia and Odyssey people will show up here, and then the logo they designate for that merger or co-op program would show up there. In this case, Greece Odyssey's logo is the one running this program, so that's the logo they chose. And then all the schools from Olympia, or all students participating for Odyssey and Olympia would show up all right here. So we then move over to standings, which is for this sport here for baseball, softball, boys and girls soccer, and we're actually processing and move all of our sports over from what you would see normally like an endorsed website that's outside of the Section 5 domain. We're bringing all of our endorsed sites in one by one. It takes a lot of time. We're in process. We've moved over probably about 4 or 5 in the last few years, and we're looking to move over the rest of them. Sports that have an endorsed website at this very moment: boys soccer, cross country, girls soccer, girls swim and dive, girls volleyball, boys basketball, boys swim and dive, girls basketball, indoor track and field, boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, and track and field. All currently have endorsed websites, so you'll see a link here next to the store, the very right before additional links says endorsed website. And that's where you'll go to find the most up-to-date information. We'll have things like the schedules and scores and rosters built in there, but it may not be fully utilized because we don't ask our coaches and our constituents to input in two different places right now as we migrate over. But the hope is that it'll be the same consistent feel and look as you go from each of our sports to get the information related to schedules and scores, rosters, standings, and then our sectional tournament page. So right here, you can break down, you can see just a quick overall of each classification. And then if you're curious on how those points are calculated, you can look at that. And then if you're questioning, okay, what was game number 11? You hover over that, you'll see that this was Helton versus Victor on April 26th. And it tells you the classification, and that's when they received the win for 5 points. And basically the seeding point in this for baseball is just that total points divided by the number of games played gives you the seed. All the details of that are in the handbook. This is typically the guideline that our athletic offices and directors use, as well as the coaches. Has it broken down, it tells you the important dates, classifications, the executive committee for baseball, class coordinators, league chairpersons, and all that details relating to that. And then just goes over all the details that come up regarding the tournament. So our handbooks are kind of our guidelines of our tournaments, very important. Most of our normal fan base doesn't look there. They're going to look here in the sectional page. And the sectional page here, this is where you'll see the important dates, which are updated as the information changes. We have the classification breakdown here as well. And so all this is pretty awesome. And then over here, you'll see links to the actual tournament. So if I were to go over to softball, baseball doesn't have them linked up yet, but if I go to the sectional page, you'll see all the different brackets here ready to go. And right now they're just blank, they're not filled out. We're waiting for the seeding meeting, which will begin tomorrow for this sport. And once those the seeding meeting's official, we'll then post all the details here on this bracket. You can print the bracket and follow along. And this is really the fun point of the season for us. So, and all that's there. And that's really the bulk of it. We have the store link in here. It takes you to our general page. We have a partnership currently with Mugs and More, who's our merchandising vendor for championship and sectional apparel. And if you look here and we went to baseball, you can go right to the baseball store here and purchase your apparel and pick it up. All the options are right there to purchase right from Mugs and More. And then under additional links, this is going to be where you'll see a lot of differences between sports. Some sports have Hall of Fame, some don't. Any of those details, sectional results are typically in every sport. So you can look at what happened in baseball last year and look at the results. You'll see the tournament page. We usually put up the team pictures as long as we get them of each championship and each class. As well as you can look at the brackets from that year prior and click on it. And that's how the bracket would look for AA. It looks like McQuaid 1-2-1 last year. And so you can kind of go through each of these and kind of see the brackets and kind of relive the history. And that's there to stay on our website, will be archived. We also have ways you can purchase tickets here. If you go here, there's pre-sale sectional tickets and sectional ticket pricing. You click here on sectional ticket pricing. It's by season. So if I click on spring, this tells you which round and what the charge is by sport. So that's very helpful. And then another thing you can look at here under tickets is how to purchase pre-sale sectional tickets. We use GoFan for our digital ticketing partner. Right now, there is no public tickets. We don't start until semifinals this year. And once we know the opponents, we will have those showing up for each of our sports. And then under tickets as well, there's information link here, and this kind of tells you all the things you need to know about purchasing, redemption, and everything digital ticketing. We also have an online store for just Section 5 apparel too. That's at the very top here. If you go here, it's just Section 5 branded stuff that you can purchase if you're a fan of all things Section 5. We also have a photo gallery here. You click on that, it takes you to our Smug Mug platform. And this is where we usually will post our photos that we get for our championship or any special events. So you can kind of peruse around here and take a look. If you go to football, you can look at the awards banquet they have from the years that we've been able to capture. And so right here is 2021. You can look back at all the award winners. Go back here, watch. We have all the different ways. Currently, we have an FHS network and Spectrum contracts with certain things. We do a lot with varsity media and YouTube, but ultimately what is new is the Section 5 broadcast network. And this is where most of our events are being streamed to. You can watch it any platform, watch on your mobile device, whether it's Android or Apple phone. You can watch through the internet browser on your computer. You can watch on Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire, Google TV. You can download that app. It's just Section 5 Broadcast Network with Section B, not 5, number 5, it's B. And you can quickly search. As you can see our inventory. If there's a lot, that means it's a paywall event, meaning that it's going to be a full broadcast. In this situation, you'll have play-by-play, color commentating, instant replay, score overlay, maybe multiple cameras, angles. So it's a real professional sport broadcast. And we focus those on our culminating or state qualifier events across all the sports that we can stream feasibly with the venues that we have consistently for that sport. A lot of our schools have their own channels. If you want to follow just a certain sport, you go right down to their team page under here under schools. You can also go up here and find the archived events. You can look at actual live upcoming events coming from our schools. So it looks like today you can go through and see what you want to watch. So literally almost every night you can watch a high school game if you really wanted to. These are all free. There is no charge to watch during regular season. And only the ones with the lock are the ones that you would have to pay. And typically it's the same price to pay as if you were to go to the game. So just quickly wanted to go over the Section 5 Broadcast Network. We also have broken it down by leagues if you just want to follow league play. And as you can see, these are all the different ways you can watch and find the Section 5 Broadcast Network. You'll be able to watch everything you want. That's really big core of our website that is pertaining to like the average fans. You can go to any one of our sports. We're always upgrading and optimizing the integrations with our stat systems. For example, ice hockey uses Point Streak as their data backend. So there's actually a stat page right here, and you can go right here and it will pull in the stats that are put in, and you can go back in all the prior years that they've been using the stat system, which is all the way back to 2008 and 9, and look at the overall scoring leaders, goalie leaders. And that's just something that sport has done, and so we were able to capture and integrate that right into the website. So, well, I hope this was informative. It helps you navigate our website and find the information you're looking for to follow our sports. Interscholastic athletics is really a great thing, and I'm proud to be able to support and be able to do what I do to be one of the best high school sport websites across the state and maybe nationally. Thank you.